Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us right up at 7. I'm Tracey McCain.
And I'm Nicole Nalepa, and you are watching us right here on Eyewitness News on the Wax. And we have a lot to get to. But first, let's bring in meteorologist Jill Gilardi, who has your first alert forecast. And we have no first alerts, thankfully, today.
Not today.
Nice.
We're all happy about that.
Yes, we'll take a little break from the rain, that's for sure. The grass, everything's just grown like crazy.
I know.
And it's like, I can't mow yet,
Right.
you know. So
It's too wet.
Just gonna have to wait. Oh, another excuse to push it back another day, though it does drive me crazy. I'm like, oh, I just want you to look so pretty and nice, and no, not gonna be the case. And what is not looking so pretty and nice is when you encounter some areas of locally dense fog, like New Haven. Well, that is going to be improving there, but in some parts of New Haven, it's down to 1/4 of a mile or 0 miles in Chester. So it's kind of wavering across the state, where we're seeing some of that thicker fog also in New London. So you can't really see much more than the buildings there. 51 degrees, at least it's a mild start. But in Torrington, hey, we got some sunshine already. So inland locations, sunnier, then down towards the immediate shoreline. In terms of, you know, clouds above the cloud on the ground, just a few of those. So you're going to get into some sunshine as soon as the low clouds burn off. But the rain shower chance has pretty much ended this morning. But we still have this swirly-do. Well, that's just my made-up name for this low pressure system. But nonetheless, this could spark an afternoon little shower. But it's mild out there this morning in the 50s. And as we head through the rest of the morning hours, we'll jump into the 60s. The fog will be burning off. And then we'll be seeing later today a slight chance for a pop-up shower. But the real heavy stuff in our next first alert holds off until Friday. And I'll have more on that a little later. But for now, let's get an update on traffic with Marcy. Good morning, Marcy.
Good morning, Jill. Good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for being with us here on Channel 3. Lots of great news today. Nothing really happening on the roads. We had some of that overnight construction all cleared up by 6, though. Just the only thing to give you the first alert about is some fog in some areas you can see in. Oh, there's my fog cloud walking by. We've got We've got some fog in Farmington, Southington, and Berlin. Thankfully, it all lifted in Waterbury. Everything else running smoothly. Drive times reflect that. We'll see you in just about 10 minutes for another check on the roads. That's your Connecticut Chevy First Alert traffic report, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
All right, thanks, Marcy. We have some breaking news overnight to get to. Pakistan and India are on the brink of war right now. At least 31 people have been killed after India ended up firing missiles and artillery in several locations right inside Pakistan-controlled territory. Now, Pakistan's leader called this an act of war and ended up shooting down multiple fighter jets. Tensions have soared between the neighbors since an attack on tourists in an Indian-controlled area last month.
Well, 3 jurors have now been seated in the trial against the 19-year-old accused of stabbing a teenager to death at a high school party 3 years ago. Raul Valley was 16 years old when police say he stabbed 17-year-old Jimmy McGrath and 3 others during a fight. Opening statements are scheduled to begin next month.
This morning, East Lyme's Deputy Fire Chief Eric Quinn is on paid leave amid an ongoing investigation. Town leaders say they're looking into, quote, recent fire-related incidents, but they haven't shared any specifics. Quinn is not facing any charges, but has been told to stay away from town properties.
In New Haven today, police are expected to give an update on an arrest made in connection with a deadly shooting on Carmel Street last January. Police say Oscar Darius is facing murder charges in the death of Gregory Perez, and he's being held on $1 million bond.
Today, the general vice president of a local machinists union is expected to visit striking union members at Pratt & Whitney Aerospace. No progress has been made on negotiations as their strike enters a 3rd day. Workers are calling for better job security and health benefits, and the company says their latest contract offer was fair.
Such a strange thing developing out of South Windsor this morning, where police are looking into how a woman was run over by her own car. Investigators say the vehicle began rolling down the driveway and struck her. The woman was taken to a hospital, and she has serious injuries.
The secretive process of picking Pope Francis's successor, known as a conclave, begins today. At 10:30 our time this morning, cardinals will be walking into the Sistine Chapel and begin to vote.
Now, after each vote, the cardinals burn the ballots using a specific chemical that makes smoke either black or white. Now, if the smoke comes out of the chimney that's white, it means a new pope has been selected. Black smoke means the vote will go on, and cardinals can vote up to 4 times a day until they select a new pontiff. If you're planning to catch a flight this morning, you might have to leave a little early. The TSA is enforcing a new ID policy that could impact security lines.
Yeah, we've been telling you about this for a while, but now it's finally here. So we have your reporter, Roger Susanna, breaking down all the changes that you need to know before you head to the airport.
You know, Nicole and Tracy, good news. We have not seen many delays at all. It's basically been smooth sailing as the TSA has unveiled this Real ID enforcement program. Now, listen, if you don't have a Real ID, you will have to go through a separate security line. You'll also likely have to answer extra vetting questions at security, but you can still fly. And again, you can look at the lines here. They have not been all that long throughout the morning, which is some really good news. Now, this shift, by the way, to Real IDs has been in the works for years. It all stems from a security recommendation after the 9/11 attacks. And the TSA reports that most people in our state, whether you know it or not, you likely already have a Real ID. Take a look at your driver's license. If you see a star in the upper right-hand corner, you are good to go. Also, if you have a passport or a military ID, that also would qualify as a Real ID for you.
Our federal security directors across the country have prepared our transportation security officers for this. We've known it's been coming for quite a while. So our folks are going to be ready. We're going to be fully staffed and ready to go.
Absolutely no big deal at all. But just keep in mind, if you do not have your Real ID, you may want to plan for a few extra minutes to go through security. Other than that, you should be good to go. And again, check your driver's license. If you have that star, you're already good to go. If not, bring your passport or military ID if you have one. And if not, if you don't have a Real ID, just go through the line here. And again, it shouldn't take all that long. Reporting at Bradley this morning, I'm your reporter, Roger Susanna, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, thanks, Roger. Good information there. And now, some good breakfast. Another restaurant has just secured its spot in our fabulous 4 at our Best Breakfast competition.
You had me at breakfast several weeks ago. All right, let's take a look at where the bracket stands right now. Two Brothers Cafe in East Hampton won yesterday's matchup with the Spot Cafe in East Hartford. So we have a good one today, too, between Blondie's Diner in Willimantic and Deb's Restaurant in Higganum.
Yes, both women-owned businesses. And we have your reporter, Aaliyah Red, live at Blondie's Diner this morning because Marcy Jones was at Deb's 2 weeks ago. So we're checking out what Blondie's has to offer. How's it going?
It's going fantastic, and I am joined by yet again another customer. Now, you might not know his face, but you probably know his voice. This is Keith from I-98.3. Thank you, local DJ.
Hello, Aaliyah. TV meets radio this morning.
Yes,
right?
and I see that you have your Blondie's mug. You love coming down here. Tell me why you voted.
Well, first of all, Blondie's is like, when you think breakfast, when you think lunch and dinner, too, you think Blondie's. In fact, you got to vote now and often. You know, you've been seeing the link, you see the link all over the place today. I mean, if I could dye my hair blonde, no, wait a minute, no. But it's all about, we're in this town, we all support each other, but I'm telling you, when you think breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you think Blondie's. In fact, this is the best mug in town, too.
And you're talking about support. Last night, they were supporting you.
Yes, I'm just so thankful to have people like this in the community. We all have each other's back. I host some local events a couple times a week, and Julie and Kristen and the Blondie's crew, they're always there for me. So I literally rolled out of bed this morning, couldn't wait to get here and enjoy some coffee.
Now, this is all about, love the coffee here too, because I had 2 cups, but this is all about best breakfast spot. Why do you think Blondie's is the best?
Well, the food is just tremendous. The service. They got wine and beer coming soon, too. But this morning, thank you for interviewing Norm first because, see, I have some fruit left over. Gave me a chance to eat my Willy Philly omelet. Yeah. And on Sunday, I had the chorizo burrito, another great option.
So many great options here. We are running out of time. Keith, thank you so much. So I am going to send it. Yes, vote.
Blondie's.
We'll leave you with that. Vote.
All right, Aaliyah having a lot of fun this morning. Take a look at the opponent today, Deb's Restaurant again. Our Marcy Jones visited there last 2 weeks ago, maybe, and it's a great spot in Higganum.
Yeah, right on Saybrook Road, and it serves breakfast and lunch starting at 5:30 a.m. 7 days a week. So you know what to do. Scan that QR code to the upper right of your screen or log on to WFSB.com/vote now to cast your vote between this matchup. Right now, Deb's Restaurant is in the lead by 54%, but Blondie's has been creeping on up there. So anything can happen between now and 11 o'clock tonight, which is as long as you have to vote.
Yeah, and then we'll reveal the winner tomorrow morning, starting on Eyewitness News at 4:30. Hey, Jill.
Hey, we're looking so much better out there, especially once we get rid of this fog, but some places we've already done that. So visibility, a little iffy in a few spots, just giving you that first alert, but the fog is already burned off in Torrington. It's going to be a lovely day, climbing into the upper 60s to near 70 degrees, a few late day clouds, a small chance for a late day passing shower. The fog is burning off as well in New Haven. You'll be topping off around 70 degrees. And as we look down towards New London, already starting to see some improvements. And this trend will continue through the rest of this morning. And we'll get into some sunshine, a few clouds, highs in the 60s. We're going to enjoy mostly drier weather today, first half of tomorrow. But then here we go again. Another first alert weather day to end the week. But the weekend looks great. We'll get into all these details coming up here in the next 5 minutes.